Bill Pearl and Arnold Schwarzenegger, two of the greatest bodybuilders of all time. This is the two. In 1967, after Pearl just won the Mr. Universe competition NABA Pro, and Arnold won the NABA Amateur Universe. So at one point in time, there was no question. Bill Pearl was better than Arnold Schwarzenegger. And today we are going to do a comparison between these two dudes using various different versions of Arnold, and basically the only pictures available of Bill Pearl. Unfortunately, the picture footage it's pretty rare of these guys back from the 40s, 50s, 60s, what have you. Bill Pearl competed up until the 70s. And that reminds me, little bit of a backstory between these two guys before we begin this comparison, and it will get pretty heavy, so to speak. So strap on your seatbelts, guys. This deals with the NABA promotion and the NABA Pro Universe title being the greatest title in bodybuilding, even when the Olympia was around. You see, Bill Pearl, he used to win a Universe title. He'd take a couple of years off. He'd come back and he'd win another one. He did that quite a few times. He won that 1967 one, like I said, and in 67 we had, who was it, Sergio Oliva? He was Olympia champion, wasn't he? So in 1971, Bill Pearl made his return to the bodybuilding stage for the NABA promotion, and he put up his Universe title up for grabs, and Arnold was invited. But as the story goes, Joe Weider told Arnold, "I don't want you messing around with Bill Pearl." Even though Frank Zane went, Sergio Oliva went, even Reg Park, for goodness sakes, competed. So this was kind of for the biggest title in bodybuilding. But you see, the year before, Arnold defeated Sergio Oliva. It was very controversial, I might add. Some people say Sergio was always better than Arnold. And when Bill Pearl, he also defeated Sergio Oliva in 1971, it kind of left the biggest title in bodybuilding up for grabs. You see, Arnold was able to defeat Sergio Oliva in 1972. So it gave him the biggest title in bodybuilding, right? Because he beat Sergio too. But the thing is, you talk to anybody back then, and they will tell you that Sergio was better than Arnold in 1972. But eventually, of course, the NABA promotion, they were never able to produce a champion like Bill Pearl again. And Arnold Schwarzenegger, he started Arnold Mania, and the IFBB took over. And it was the biggest title in bodybuilding. So, little bit of food for thought there. And now, when it comes to a comparison between these two guys, a lot of things have to be considered. Bill Pearl, for instance, in 1971, he was 40. Wow. He was no spring chicken anymore. And as you may know, Arnold never even competed in his 30s. He retired in his 20s. Okay, he did one little fly-by-night, drive-by robbery when he was in his 30s. But you know exactly what I'm saying. The advancements in gear alone. And I'm not suggesting that either one of these guys was abusing, or natural for that matter. But I'm sure the knowledge, how much they could take, it was, it's okay to take a little bit more, Franco, let me test it on you, then try it on me. So, we're going to use many different versions of Arnold. Way back when? This is probably 65 Arnold? I don't think it's 67. The years they're hard to find on some of these older pictures, but wow! Big old Bill battling Bill Pearl. Look at the size of the wheels on him compared to Arnold, and even in the arm development. But like I mentioned, guys, a lot of advancements in training, supplements, and gear, things of that nature. So Arnold advanced. But you know what? Arnold's upper body, it's much better than Pearl's. But look at the lower half. Look at Bill Pearl's great big horse quads. That's pretty impressive. Very impressive, actually. So, as the years rolled on, the calendar flips, and bodybuilding advanced more so in the separation of the muscle, the conditioning, the criteria, the need for more ripped and separated muscle. And you can kind of see a comparison between these two eras, you can call it. It's impossible. It's more so than, say, 2002 or 2003 versus 2025, you think would be a lot, but it's not as much as, say, 1960 to 1975. I mean, that was a lot of advancements. But either way, guys, obviously, Arnold, his finished product, would defeat Bill Pearl's finished product. In terms of the mandatory shots, the mandatory poses, I guess you could say Pearl, he was better than Arnold in certain shots, like the side tricep. There's not many other poses, though, of Pearl, unfortunately. Couldn't find a front lat spread, couldn't find a decent side chest pose. But look at his big pectoral region in the side tricep. And look at the thick arm. Arnold looks pretty good. Criticized for having a weak side tricep pose. I don't know. Looks pretty good. This is earlier on in his career. Probably 1967. Or as I sometimes say, acting a goof. Dickety-7. 19-dickety-7? I think they used to say that. Or a doink. A clown. Not a goof. I'm not a goof. Some people are. But I'm not. Now the back gets a little hazy. You see, Bill Pearl, this is him in 71. He was 40. An old geezer. But with all due respect, Bill Pearl, one of my favorite bodybuilders, may he rest in peace. But the back is thicker and bigger than Arnold's. The angle of the shot kind of taken away from his arms, but he did hold his arms down a little bit anyway, and Arnold, he'd have been beating him on that aspect. Anyway, so look at the thick lat insertions, and here's a different one of Arnold. The angle of the shot, it's difficult, guys. I did my best. Arnold's lats look pretty thick here, don't they? Don't they indeed? But man, you look at those traps of Battle and Bill Pearl, this guy was an instant sensation on that bodybuilding stage with a big old back like that. And here is Arnold, smack dab in his prime. This is the best Arnold. Christmas tree, baby play, and look at, you can kind of see a Christmas tree for Bill Pearl. Soggy donk, but I mean, that was the times. Nobody would have mentioned glutes. They didn't even have the word glute written down in their little muscle pamphlet when they did their flex display performances. Come along, Martha. There is an excellent flex display performance tonight. You see, the old boy, he'd bring his wife, and then he'd get a little action later. Get her juices flowing. But anyway, here's the most muscular. Bill Pearl, I think he's in some sort of facility. Looks like some sort of gymnasium. That's what a gymnasium looks like. And Arnold, he is kind of doing a wrist clasped, most muscular. Folks, these guys represent two completely different eras in bodybuilding. And it was so fast, the advancements, like I mentioned earlier, from 2003 to 2025. I mean, it's a downgrade, it seems. A downgrade. And that's quite a while. It's 20-some years. So from 1960 or 1950 to 1970. Wow. Huge advancements, folks. So at the end of the day, Bill Pearl, Arnold Schwarzenegger, they can't be compared. They were the best. Would Bill Pearl have beaten him in 71? Maybe not. Maybe not. Arnold was hitting his stride then. So, hit thumbs up on the video. It is comparisons like this that made me start a channel in the beginning to do comparisons that never happened. And Bill Pearl versus Arnold Schwarzenegger was the matchup to end all matchups that never happened. Have a great one, folks. Don't forget to hit thumbs up. on the video. And please subscribe to the channel if you have not already.